Here's the Elliott wave forecast for March 15th, 2011. On the S&P 6-month chart, looks like we have an ABC zigzag that's near completion. We have A, then B, and C. And C would target as low as 1275 to 1280 in S&P to the downside, or the previous four. And the rally near the close could just be a 4 of 3 before a 5 of 3 down. So we might have a couple days before we get a fifth wave down. Hopefully, it's an ending diagonal. If we get an ending diagonal, that would be the perfect and ideal scenario. So ABC to 1275 to 1280 is what I'm looking to see form. And for Nasdaq, actually let me talk about something. S&P has a hammer candlestick. So if there's a gap up tomorrow, then the futures are down about 44 on the Dow and about 7 in Nasdaq and 4 in S&P. So we might get that, we get the fifth wave down heading into Monday and Wednesday. But we got a hammer, and if the futures reverse and we gap up, that could be the end of it. But I really think though that we might get a fifth wave ending diagonal in this formation. Uh, Also, one big thing is the the puts versus calls are is just it's just crazy to look at. The amount of puts versus calls in the spies going from excuse me 129 to 133 is almost 4 to 1, up to 4 to 1 puts versus calls for this weekend. And this is expiration week. And let me explain this further. If you have it just makes sense. If there are 4 times as many puts versus calls, they have to sell their puts and they got to cover because that's his expiration week. So if you have 4 times that many puts versus calls going all the way up to 133 in the S&P or the spies, they're it's begging for a rally to form. I mean, a rally could just explode out of nowhere. So they have to cover or sell the puts sometime, and during this week they can't just wait till they expire worthless. So just watch out. This week there could be a really large move to the upside, a large reversal to the upside based on the put call ratio alone, puts versus calls in the spies, diamonds, and quadruple Qs heading into Friday expiration. So it's 4 to 1. If you look at the spy puts versus calls from 129 up to 132, you'll see it, and it's like it's crazy. The further it goes down, it's like a elastic band or like a rubber band. It could be a really large upside move reversal, and that's what I'm betting on. If it doesn't happen, we just get a fifth wave down, and then we get a slow gradual three, or we may get a large gap up type of rally. And I'm actually anticipating that, and I actually bet ahead of that. But tomorrow, I might accumulate a larger position tomorrow if we get a fifth wave down and ending diagonal. For the Nasdaq, the ABC pattern is ABC, and target was as low as 2650 to 2670, and we got to 2680 approximately. So we might have a little bit more downside to go to complete a perfect ABC, which is A equals C. For the diamonds or the Dow got ABC and a hammer right after, and RSI is low. Put call ratios are extremely high. Puts versus calls. It's just a lot of stuff, a lot of technical indicators that are pointing towards a large upside move. And after an ABC completes, it's just a setup that I've seen so frequently in the past decade. Is ABC zigzag, ending diagonal fifth wave, and expiration, puts versus calls extremely high, RSI low, VIX in the mid 20s. It's just a lot of stuff. And I know the Japanese the whatever's happening in Japan is kind of scary. I know, but I just believe that it's just short term. I know it's gonna be a long term thing, obviously, but the peak of what might happen is gonna happen in the next couple of days, so we'll find out. So I know it's a very scary situation in Japan, and I know I would pray for all the people and all the relatives, all the families who yeah. I don't want to step my soapbox, but anyway, uh, technically we're setting up for a rally, and I'm anticipating it after we get a fifth wave down. So I'd rather see a fifth wave down, and then an elastic band type of upside move. So ABC is near completion, and that's what I'm waiting for. That's a wrap.